Hello, welcome back, Knicks fans. Big Nick Burt with the Big Nick Energy, here to fill you in on some preseason analytics. We are looking at the film off of this great win versus Detroit to start the preseason. I know it's been a long off season for most, and for the Knicks fans especially. So today we're going to be looking at some great offensive clips and some defensive clips to let you know just what we're looking at to start this regular season. As you can see, I did some moving and some refurnishing. So no backdrop right now. We're going to be working on that. If you're in South Florida, say hello. And if you're not, hey, come down and visit maybe. But without any further ado, let's take a look at these New York Knicks. To start the game, I was really liking these double high screens that we always see from Tom Thibodeau. But RJ chooses not to do a handoff, maybe, or kick it back to Brunson. Instead, he lobs it into Mitch, who gets fouled and gets to go to the line. And I like this play because it just shows how read and react offense works. You know, RJ could have curled himself. He could have hit Brunson. He could have went weak side, but instead he kicked it inside to Mitch, who had the player in front of him and the basket to his back for an easy dunk, or, as we got there, a nice foul shot. Now we've got Julius Randle running a nice handoff play. And you can see on the weak side, we also got Brunson, and I believe that is McBride. Brunson, McBride, and Mitch running a double screen to get Brunson open at the top of the key. Randle fades to the corner. He could be that little first option maybe. But instead, RJ takes the three-pointer over his defender, and you love to see that. Again, the read and react offense, you take what they give you. If your man's not playing you very tight, go ahead, shoot it in his face. So now getting the ball out of RJ's hands, look at Brunson cooking to Randle. And now the big question this year is, what is Randle going to be able to do with Brunson? Does he need the ball in his hand like that? Can he function in this offense with a true point guard and a point guard that's going to be making out for himself? Now here we see Brunson give it to Randle, top of the key, right at the foul line. We've seen Randle do this before. That's where he likes to cook. And Randle takes his guy to the basket and gets the 2 points easily. We love to see that. That is going to be there all day. Now, if they go and double him, or if he's got a better option, now let's see this play. Kicks it out. And we got Brunson in the corner for a nice three. And that's the big upgrade that we're going to see with Brunson at the point guard. We got 4 guys on the starting lineup who can make their own shot and pretty much shoot from everywhere. Now again, let's see what Randle and Brunson do together. Randle and Mitch set opposite sides picks. And Brunson's able to actually get the first step, and he gets fouled. And now it's not, you're not ending up with points on the board right there, but it is, a good look at what these options are going to be, where you can pull out Randle, and if he gets the good switch or you can get the first step, Brunson can blow by his defender. Not the fastest guy in the league, but hardly the slowest. Now here we see a little defensive lapse, or an offensive lapse, and a defensive execution by Detroit. Brunson goes to do the handoff to RJ. Mitch should be a little bit higher up, but the defender on RJ kind of knows what's going on. He stays really close to him and is able to poke the ball away. Now, this is what we don't want to see, but it's going to happen. And that's just something, either Brunson's going to have to keep the ball with him, or Mitch is going to have to step up and set a harder screen. But either way, it ends up with a Detroit dunk. And now this play is another offensive lapse. RJ picks up his dribble way too early. He means to pass the ball inside, but he notices that IQ's not looking for the ball. So he picks his dribble up at the top of the key, and he wants to dump it inside, but instead he has to kind of make a decision on a half step where he's like, it's just not a good spot. Don't pick up your dribble, right? If you have your dribble, you have one more option there. So once you pick up the dribble, you have to make a decision, and he makes the wrong one. So a couple lapses there on offense by RJ and by the Knicks in general. But it's still early in the preseason, and I don't expect to see too much of those going forward. But ultimately, the offense looked really, really good. A lot of movement on offense, and a lot of the read and react that Thibodeau preaches. It's take what the defense gives you and make the right decision. And we're seeing a lot of that, especially last night. So hopefully we see more of that going forward. And let's end it off with something really, really exciting. This is off an inbounds play where you see RJ and Hartenstein setting some picks up for the person they inbound the ball to as quickly. Then you see Fournier wrapping around, ready to shoot it. But Fournier's actually double covered, so he dumps it into Hartenstein, who actually gets it out to RJ in the corner. And I think the original play was actually drawn up to hit RJ in the corner. So it's a good heads-up play from Hartenstein to know, like, hey, this guy's going to be there and he's probably going to be open, especially because Fournier had 2 defenders on him. So it's a nice heads-up play, a nice play out of an inbounds, and it results in a 3-pointer, which we love. So now let's switch over to the defense. And we see something that we're going to have to get used to, Brunson getting bullied in the paint. And now people were saying, about his height, it's going to be an issue, and that's true. His height is going to be an issue. However, these smart plays, holding your ground and taking the charge, that's going to be the difference between, a 30-win team or a 40-win team. So I like to see that he's, playing smart on the defense, getting a charge right off the bat from the taller player who's trying to manipulate him and try to get that easy bucket inside. So here's another double screen action. I think all the players involved, Mitch, RJ, Fournier gets a little beat on his back. Brunson gets a little beat on his back, but Randle stays on the guy he kicks it out to. And I like that closeout, and I really like the help from McBride here. They wanted to get a switch, but Randle's like, nah, he fights through it. McBride helps, keeps him from penetrating. RJ goes down to the center and is actually able to get his hand on the ball. Just a nice read on defense where I feel like everybody was really sticking their man and making the right decisions, making the right calls. Now again, they're trying to get a nice switch or something. You see Fournier coming to help in the middle. IQ is sticking his guy. Hartenstein is stopping the ball. And look it, you actually have RJ, Hartenstein, and IQ around the ball handler ready to poke the ball away. And Hartenstein gets his hand on it, and that's a great thing. That's what you want to see from your center. That could have easily been either a nice drive to the basket or a dunk, dish off for a dunk. But instead, Hartenstein stays with it, pokes the ball away. But the most notable thing is the whole team is collapsing. They're playing team defense. And now what I really want to look at outside of the clips is this defensive musts that got leaked from the practice the other day. Transition defense, compete, challenge shots, defend with physicality without fouling, early with your high hand, hustle plays, first to the floor, charges, blocks, stance and vision, think help without the ball, and gang rebound. And to me, that's just saying, it's going to be a team-oriented basketball game. And, do those little things that'll get you the more possessions per game and transition buckets. And we saw a lot of that versus Detroit. So going forward, obviously the defense is going to be leading to a lot of offense as Thibodeau really enjoys. That's what he emphasizes. But we saw a lot of transition offense too. But let's not forget, these guys are getting even more accustomed to the read and react offense and having more control over how the game is played, the pace, who gets the looks, and the decisions being made on the court. It's not going to be a play every single time down. It's not Nate McMillan, all right? This is Tom Thibodeau. He's giving it to his players, and they can make the decision what they want to do with the ball. And I think I emphasized a few things there where the whole team is making the right decision and a few things where maybe they're making the wrong decision, but it's a good sign for this coming regular season. So tune in, and we'll do some more analysis and look at this film so that we can make Tom Thibodeau proud, right? So I'm Big Nick Burt with the Big Nick Energy. We're here with the home whites on, getting excited for the new year. And I hope you guys had a good off season because I had a great off season, and I'm looking really forward to this regular season with this new squad. So thank you all.
Burt knows basketball, y'all.